Hello, my name is Elise Garvey of the King County Auditor's Office, and this is a brief overview of the findings of our audit on bus collision and injury prevention at King County Metro Transit. We conducted this audit to evaluate the extent to which Metro Transit is taking steps to prevent and respond to collisions and injuries involving buses. We want to note that riding a bus is a relatively safe form of transportation. Metro buses are involved in thousands of safety incidents each year, but few incidents result in serious injuries. However, there are still inherent risks anytime a bus is operating that could result in damage and injury or fatality. And due to that risk to people and the potential cost to the county, the Office of Risk Management keeps the potential for a bus to injure someone or cause damage on its list of top risks at the county. The county has paid roughly $15 million in claims in the past 5 years. So while there was not a specific incident that informed this audit, this high risk is why we perform this work. And for this presentation, I'll focus on just a few of the measures Metro Transit has in place for preventing and responding to collisions and injuries, but more details are available in our report. Our key takeaways are that Metro has a system in place to respond to incidents, but it is mostly focused on serious incidents that have already happened. The Federal Transit Administration is encouraging transit agencies to move away from this reactive model to a more proactive one that identifies risks earlier. Metro Transit provides continuing education and post-incident training to operators, but does not require regular training on basic skills and safety expectations, as suggested by the Transit Cooperative Research Program to help prevent skill loss. So I'm going to briefly review Metro's incident review process. An incident is any time a bus might be involved in damage or injury. So this ranges from things like a branch scraping the top of a bus to things like striking a pedestrian. And when this happens, operators must submit a report. Metro reviews all of those reports and starts with investigating whether there actually was damage or injury. If not, they label it as no judgment required and mostly stop looking at the incident. If yes, then they investigate whether the operator could have done anything to prevent the incident using a national standard, which is higher than what is expected for drivers like you and me. If there wasn't anything the operator could do according to the standard, Metro labels it as non-preventable and again generally stops assessing the incident. If yes, then Metro labels it as preventable and then evaluates the severity of the injury or damage that has occurred. And that evaluation can then lead to formal steps like training and/or discipline for the operator. And preventable incidents have the most scrutiny and response steps. However, by focusing more on the preventable incidents, Metro is missing opportunities to more fully understand future risks, because a little over 80% of Metro's incidents do not fall into that preventable category. As you can see, most fall into either the no judgment required category in gray, which is not evaluated for operator behavior or severity, or the non-preventable category in blue, which is not evaluated for severity. The FTA is encouraging transit agencies to move away from only focusing on those preventable incidents and instead really using information from anything that could indicate risks of future incidents. Metro does already do some of this. For example, Metro's Safety Division does use location data from all incidents to identify problematic intersections or areas, and then works with relevant jurisdictions to fix the issues. However, there's potential to do more of this work, and right now Metro Transit's collection and use of data is too limited to accomplish this type of risk identification the FTA is encouraging. And our report includes 3 ways in which Metro could be more proactive in its analysis and use of incident data. The first we've already discussed in the last couple of slides is about how Metro is not fully using data from all incidents. Second, we found that Metro's Safety Division doesn't have efficient access to data sources in other parts of Metro that could indicate risks, like traffic tickets and customer complaints. Third, although staff investigate and identify issues that might have caused or contributed to an incident, they do not record it in a way that would be easy to analyze and therefore be able to identify trends and risks. Improving these practices around data could help Metro better identify risks of future incidents and design measures to help prevent them, which is more in line with current federal guidance. So we are recommending that Metro collect and use data from all incidents, ensure the Safety Division has efficient access to data that could help identify risks, and identify, collect, and analyze data on factors that cause or contribute to collisions or injuries. We also looked at operator training as a measure Metro takes to prevent incidents. We found Metro doesn't do a regular safety refresher training for operators, which is out of step with what other transit agencies do and what national organizations recommend. Metro trains operators when they are first hired and when they get into serious collisions. And there are also annual continuing education offerings, but the topics vary. There's no regular requirement for operators to refresh on basic and safe driving skills and expectations. National organization recommends this to help re-engage operators, and Metro staff and some of the base chiefs we spoke with would also like to see this to help address the concern that the current training setup creates the view that training equals punishment, since operators receive training after getting into a preventable incident. So we have recommended that Metro Transit should require regular safety training for all operators. In summary, Metro has a system in place and reviews incident reports, but its analysis is mostly focused on serious incidents that have already happened. Metro has opportunities to be more proactive and collect and use its data more effectively to identify risks for future incidents, which would be more in line with more recent federal guidance. And lastly, Metro Transit provides continuing education and post-incident training to operators, but does not require regular training on basic skills and safety expectations to help prevent skill loss. And that concludes our presentation. Our full report is available online. Thank you.